Okay, Secha, you've got your wig. You want to get ready for the new year. Today, I'm going to show you how to reinstall a wig that you've worn before, but now you want to wear again and you don't know how to do it. Osna lacy extra ne. Dumelang kalipseke na payallo chablala. We're going to start with prepping our hair for an installation. So I'm using this gel and I am just literally taking muriru ka pele ka mono kuisa morao. So the hair in front, that's what I just said, I'm taking it back using that old toothbrush and just that gel. And then I'm going to be using these smooth sealed edge cotton pads as well as rubbing alcohol. These two are your best friends as you do your installation. Okay, so I'm just removing any excess oils on my forehead, and you see there at the top that extra gel, that whiteness. I'm going to use that same alcohol pad just to remove or just minimize that whiteness because it tends to seep through. This is the wig that we're using, guys. I don't have a wig vendor for this, but I did tag 3 companies where you can buy similar laces that will melt. I did prepare the hair before and I'm just showing you how the hair looked, the curls, etc, etc. It looks scrumptious. Okay, let's get into the installation. So I put on the wig on my head, making sure that it is fitted properly. Just basically korodisa. I don't know what korodisa means. Just if you know what that means in English, just please comment down below. So I'm just doing that and then taking the wig back, getting ready now for the glue. I'm using this Ebon glue. I got it from a shop called T-Knock Beauty here on Instagram or TikTok as well. I did tag them. Guys, when we are reinstalling, especially for a beginner, we're going to be doing it in sections. So we're going to be doing the middle section first and then the sides together. You'll see what I mean. It's easier to manage like that. Less flyaway mess, etc, etc. As you can see, I'm putting the glue on my hair. So we need a thicker circumference. So the thicker the circumference, I feel like the longer your wig will last because there's more grip to it. A lot of people have asked me if this doesn't damage your hair. Does and the answer is no, because all you need to remove this glue with is water. Guys, it takes less than 5 minutes when I'm removing my wig. When I wash it off, it doesn't do anything to my hair, etc. So I'm putting the first layer, making sure that it's a little bit tacky, going in with the second layer. And if there's any drip or anything like that, because this glue is quite wet when you're putting it on, when you are installing it, I'm just using the cotton pad with that alcohol, just wiping down that drip, and then just using that ragtail comb just to like basically make sure that it is evenly spread out. Now we're going to go in with the installation. I am just literally laying the lace on my forehead. I am not touching it. I'm not doing anything. Taking my time, using cool air as I'm doing this, making sure that it gets dry or it has a grip. I'm using my pinky just to make sure that the front section is touching the glue, that it's going down. So as I'm doing this, the air is on there. Ne? So it's just like the middle section that we're doing. We haven't done the sides yet. And then as I just press it down. But you see there, this happens a lot because that means the glue was too wet at the time, so it seeped through. Okay, it's easy to remove that. Just use rubbing alcohol, but we're trying to avoid this when we are waiting for it to be tacky. But I wanted to show you as well how it would look like. I'm using the comb just to take that away, separate the hair, but don't go again because it will just make a mess, right? So what I just do is just go there, make sure it's dry before I go in kakama, because it tends to get glue. This can go from 0 to 100 real quickly. So the trick is not to press it down too quickly. Make sure it's dry before you start pressing it down. Okay, make sure your hair is dry before you start putting pressure because the glue might be too wet. Now we're going to do the same thing on the sides. So the sides, I do them simultaneously at the same time because it's just opposite sides. So I do the same thing I did in the middle. I wipe the parts where I'm going to be starting to work. Guys, I love my rubbing alcohol when I do my installations. I feel like it's such a big part on making it look or come out very neat and clean. Okay, so I'm very generous with this on the edges because this is where the wig tends to lift first on the sides. So be a bit generous. Clean your ragtail comb. I'm just showing you how I'm doing it there. Cleanliness with your wig installation will make it so much better that there's not a lot of gunk when you are doing it. And then when we're ready, I did 3 layers as well. Do the same thing. Just hold it down, put some pressure at the edge, put some air on it just to make sure that it is dry. and then use your pinky just to like make that front section sleep down. You will sleep down, but you'll see as the video progresses how we make the other parts that didn't touch the glue lay down. Basically, ibe melted. We're gonna get to that. So same thing. I'm not putting any pressure because I know the glue might still be wet. I'm just basically making sure that everything is just down, that the lace itself has touched the glue and there's a bit of a grip. Okay, I'm doing the same thing on the other side. So like I said, a bigger circumference makes it better to hold the wig. So if you just have glue only in the front, it tends not to hold the wig as long or as long as I would want it to, because this wig can last me anything between a week and a week and a half or so, especially if you don't go to gym and stuff and just wake up, go. It's perfect, and it's very manageable. As you can see, there's some hairs that touched glue. Hairs, is that a word? They touched glue, so I just used the comb just to separate it. And then what I'm doing now is just taking away any flyaways that might just hinder the process of us now going into the melting process. This is what we're doing now. I'm taking the glue, decanting it on just a surface, using a brush. I found that the brush works so much better, guys. I'm enjoying using the brush. And then because you get much more product. And I'm just putting the product on the front section, on the parts where I know that glue did not touch. What I mean by that, because this is an HD lace, you won't really see it on camera until I bring you closer. Look at that. Do you see those parts? So now that glue that we just put, that little glue, helps it just lay down so that we have a beautiful, like, laid down finish. So just do that. Trust the process. Use your ragtail comb to just sleek it down. There's going to be some hair that comes to the front. It's fine. It makes it look much more natural anyway. It looks like and also because when you are reinstalling, it's very easy for the flyaways to touch some glue and stuff. So it's almost impossible to not have any hairs in the front. But if you don't, you try and minimize the flyaway setlanka pelika. Do you see that? So this is how the wig is looking. It's looking good. It's looking melted, but we're going to melt it some more. So you wait, guys, you wait for that glue to dry before you go into it with the lace band. But because I've got a big circumference, I'm using 2 lace bands to make sure that it's down. Do you see this? I didn't wait long enough. So there's some glue that is still a bit tacky, but not all is lost. All you need is the wet cotton pad that has rubbing alcohol and rub it down. It should be fine. So when you're removing your band, make sure that you're removing it going down. Because it might lift. And then what I'm doing here is separating the hair that might obviously touch the glue, because I laid it down for a few minutes, guys. So 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 10 minutes, the longer the better. And this is how we're looking. It's looking beautiful. It's looking melted. I did find a closure or a lace that I think will melt like this as well at Dragon City. So there's going to be a video coming up with me installing that wig with the closure I used, and hopefully you guys can get to access a lace that looks this good. So an HD lace will bring you closer to having something like this, but for now, somewhere it's saying here.